They get first ban, and we say goodbye to Buck against XSET.
Some vertical destruction being gone, some flexibility being limited there from the attacking side, and Nuke stays alive for now, but XSET of course can still change that. Kino says, no Kali, haha. Good luck, have fun. Kino does love playing the Kali on Villa, we saw it a couple of times actually.
Yes,
or Bank rather as well.
Nomad.
Nomad follows along, so Nuke being open, Lion being open. A lot of different attackers that are quite strong utility is now being able to be brought to border in this matchup.
Kool-Aid being very gracious, offering Kino offering basically anything, and Kool-Aid being really nice. Kino says, "I'm better than you at anything you play." Yeah, Kino, but do you have hair as nice as Kool-Aid?
That's a good point. Saw some pretty nice photos of Kool-Aid on Twitter last night.
Please, for the love of God, players, spend as much time as is humanly possible off of Reddit. I promise you it's better for your mental health. Lots of good subreddits out there, but if you are a player or even a caster and you're spending an inordinate amount of time reading the opinions of Redditors on your job, you are in the wrong place. I promise you that.
I think it's a true statement. I used to say as a player that you gotta choose your social medias that you check, right? And Reddit is definitely a rough one, I would say, no matter where you are in life. So, yeah, like, don't go there if anything. Go elsewhere. What would you say is the nicest social media, Parker? I'm curious what your thoughts are.
The nicest social
media?
media?
The best, if you will. Like, what's the social media to go?
None.
None. Okay, you know what? They
all suck.
Real life socializing, maybe, perhaps?
I mean, I feel like Facebook and Twitter can be good if you follow the right people.
Okay.
Right? Like, the problem is that if you follow the wrong people, then it gets miserable very quickly and it will poison your brain.
Okay. Poison. Set up here from Parabellum on the defensive side, bringing a quite ordinary lineup of operators. Mirror is a bit of an option that you can use or not, but it is being brought out this time. Maestro seeing a bit of play from Eska. Maestro's pick rate used to be sky high, but slowly as the meta got more and more aggressive, he's kind of faltered on the meter. XSET bringing both the Amaru, the Lion, and the Dokebi, as well as the Ying. So very explosive lineup, very execution-oriented from them. We've seen Soniqs do something similar, although they had a Blackbeard in the mix. That is not going to be the case with them, as Ash and Gomez is the 5th operator for the XSET attacking lineup.
Ooh, first pick goes to Parabellum. Answer back right away. Gomez trades out Yaga. You say goodbye to Blaz. Second highest rated player yesterday, is that what I heard the desk say?
I believe so.
1.49 over a 1.5, as close as it gets. That's also the Lion off of the board.
It's a worthy trade for Parabellum. Trading Milusi, who put down all her gadgetry, versus Lion with an active gadget that they needed for the execute. I think that if you were to trade this, Blast was the winner here.
It's also the Yog Dog that you got.
It's the Yog Dog.
The Yog Dog. They sent him back to the pound for that one.
They did. Dog as well.
One of the two newest players for Parabellum. You're going to hear us talk an awful lot about both Asian and Doc. And we're not talking about the operator, we're talking about the player himself.
Keep it deployed.
Pay no attention to the fact that Asian just had a bit of a near miss.
Oh.
Spirits is very quickly on the hunt, but Asian comes out on top of the engagement and continues to get away. XSET wanting to be quick, wanting to be fast, but just cannot get it done right now. Doc having some difficulties, but he's got Kool-Aid there. Back pocket, Diaz and Kino falter. It leaves Gomez in a 1v3 for XSET. Lots of time still left to go. We'll confront a black mirror. Doesn't know where anybody is behind it. Nice to see an Ash back in the meta. And it's Asian playing the corner. Gets the final kill. Parabellum take round number 1.
Good start there. I mean, once XSET lost the line, they kind of felt like, you know, let's just push that go button anyway. But imagine the line scan is there to keep Asian stuck in that box. Amaru can then go up the hatch with more confidence with the flashbang as well. And maybe that plays out differently. Maybe the follow-up isn't punished as well from Kool-Aid as it was. I believe it was the members of XSET going into security window that got shut down by the mirror in the position Amaru, as that double kill came out back to back and really stopped them dead in their tracks. One floor down we go into ventilation workshop, but it's a similar position to be played in the last round. than that of the last round is we're going to go upstairs and extend that vertical presence one floor above, because the entirety of both ventilation and the workshop bomb site can be seen from Armory and Archives, and there are 2 hatches above as well that can give you direct access to the bomb site too. Banshees, of course, going to cover all the common grounds above the B bombs in the blue hallway. The third Banshee looks to be going upstairs as well. Asian on the Capcan is going to bring a similar style fashion where either you will shoot the trap and then you will hear information of where the attackers are coming from, and they'll walk through the trap, take damage, and you'll hear the sound cue of the explosion. It's stuff like that where suppressors, once again, we talk about this quite a lot, where suppressors are quite common, or quite strong rather, because you can now silently shoot gadgetry and not give away that sound cue as easily as before. Same with shooting default cameras. I remember back in like the early days of Siege, everybody would run like a suppressor on the pistol. You could swap to your pistol, shoot a camera, go back to your primary, and people are like, oh, I'm sneaky. As the game got more and more complicated and more advanced, that has kind of left the meta, but suppressors are back on the menu across all both primary and secondary guns, so might see that happen throughout this game.
When do you think we'll see a Nook?
We should see a Nook at some point.
When?
I think round 4 from XSET and round 1 from Parabellum when they go on attack.
Awesome, thank you for letting me know.
You're welcome. Let's keep track of it. I'll keep track of it.
XSET's primary focus at the moment is on security. Asian is playing in this position with no real way out, it looks like. But instead, holding the same weapon that he had with the zombie. Oh, never mind, he's got a hatch. He can just drop down it. Right now, inside of Customs. Diaz on the hunt. He's a little bit too far behind. They've allowed Asian to get out of dodge very quickly.
Yeah, it's not safe yet though. XS are looking for an opportunity. Ash charge, Sophia charge, destruction being made, sounds going off, but it's Parabellum looking to aggress here. Kool-Aid playing a very aggressive on this breach all alone.
He's about to lose some of that security just above him, and damage is done as that Selma goes off, but engages yet again. A bit of difficulty, but he gets the down onto Yaga with the impact grenade at the last second. Blaz gets one for Parabellum, so for the second round in a row, it's a trade for both teams. Nobody coming out ahead. Yaga's retrievable at this point, though. I don't know if Parabellum are aware of the fact that he's bleeding out. They should be able to get the sledge back up with just 20% of his HP.
Yeah, so it's a little decent trade. It's a 1-for-1. Yaga stays alive but down in HP. Spirit's half as well. Blast almost half. Still Parabellum arguably in the lead here. Asians does customs control, guaranteeing more map control and advantage to the side of Parabellum in the defense. Slowly the time here is taken down. Blast, nice shot onto Kino. PB, they stay tight.
Not droning out security proves to be a major issue. Doc in on the fun as well for Parabellum. XSET having some troubles, but Asians looking the wrong way. Diaz walks right through a doorway that was not in the peripherals of Asian one bit. Diaz is still in this spot, tantalizingly close to getting into the bomb site, but neither him nor Spirits, who is now dead, have access to that diffuser. Blaz, a third kill, looking for more. Diaz will creep up and will alert the Malusi Banshee. They know exactly where he is. The sound cue gives it away, and he'll get smoked out, looking to reposition over towards the bathroom. And Eska also a kill of his own. Almost everybody from Parabellum got in on that round. Only Kool-Aid, as far as I'm aware, went without a kill. An Asian, too. Parabellum's up 2-0, though.
Blaz having a great time.
It's that there haven't been confidence-inspiring rounds from XSET. Their entries have looked shaky and weak. It doesn't look like their drone work is finding their mark. There have been a number of kills, especially to start off the festivities, from Parabellum, where XSET just have been caught by surprise. They don't think that there's somebody in that angle, and then there is. While this tactical timeout could shape up to be quite interesting if you move your eyes to the right side of the screen, Capitao, Glaz, Ying, Amaru, and Lion could be what's on the menu, and that's a 3-star Michelin restaurant style menu right there for XSET.
Yeah, that could be quite something. I mean, this can speak to two different sides of one coin. Either it's a direct take on Taylor's windows, straight in and get the bomb down and play the post plant, or we're somehow going to use the Amaru to get fast in the building, get a bit of ground, and then execute. But look at this spawn point. 4 members on this side. Window's going to get opened up. Smokes, Cantillas could possibly go out with the Lion charge as well. And then all of a sudden, before you know it, the round might just be over. We'll have to wait and see for just a second. Ying goes to the drone hole, I believe, on the side of your screen, and then it's going to be chaos from there.
Oh, and here it comes very quickly. Kino already in at the halfway point with the diffuser. 30 seconds off the clock. First kill goes to the Amaru of Yaga. But SK answers back, and the diffuser does not go down in the final moments. XSET denied the diffuser to be planted. Oh. Parabellum managed to bail themselves out of that spot. Doc finds a second kill for Parabellum. Yaga's now the one down, and the diffuser is surrendered in the middle of the bomb site, quite possibly the worst place for it to be. Yeah,
this is essentially on paper round over for XSET. And of course they can still win it, but like they gambled everything on this singular execute, and they were basically 1 second away from getting that diffuser down. Had they gotten it down, that should be the round victory for them. So PB, despite being blinded and smoked off, they found the angle and found the kill. That's all that matters for them. Now they can sit tight and wait because, well, XSET got to drone out the entire map, take top floor, work their way down, and still have to attack the bomb site without the diffuser in their pocket. It's no easy task.
The difference that half a second makes really is quite remarkable. You've still got utility to the gills. You don't have any of your Candelas left. That is a big problem. But you've got 2 EE1Ds in the hands of Lion and a Flash, and you've got 4 smokes. So at worst, you can smoke out the site and get Spirits to do some form of covering fire as the glass. But right now, it's just a waiting game. Yep. 30 seconds, XSET was in the building. Now with a minute to go, they're treading water, trying to figure out what the next steps are.
Yep. Meanwhile, PB playing a smart game of just falling back one room at a time, not really overextending their situation, not really getting caught in any crossfires along the way. Doc all the way back towards the bomb side, playing down the clock so beautifully with 50 seconds left to go. Gomez has smoke grenades to spare, but no Candelas to be had, and Asian just swings the hatch and finds an easy kill into Gomez. Nice shot indeed.
Well, as things went from bad to worse, it looked like an excellent beginning of the round for XSET, and by all measures it was, frankly. But things are just not happening here. Asian with 2 kills now, leaving Diaz in this position at the bottom of the stairs. And it's 3 final kills for Asian. The timeout not working at all. Parabellum still undefeated. They're up 3-0.
Let's see if XSET will bring out the nuke now, because I said round 4 XSET brings it, and round 1 when PB goes on tech they will bring it. So let's see if we still got it or not. I mean, I feel like at this point, if I'm XSET, I'm thinking we gotta just sneak out the map and try and get some cheesy kills or something for our money's worth, because the entries and the executes are not working out in our favor in the slightest. And PB can now just work their way through the bomb site prioritization. They went Armory, Ventilation, Bathroom, back to Armory, a full bomb site reset. Customs, of course, almost never played in professional Tier 1 play. Usually when it is, it's a pocket site. We gotta bring out something spicy, or maybe you assume that the enemy doesn't know how to attack it that comfortably if you studied their VODs. Look at that! Spirits is actually attacker repicking onto Nuke.
Oh,
round 4.
You were right.
That's it.
You were right.
Yep.
I hate to say it.
Damn.
I will say it out loud.
Damn.
Unless in the next 10 seconds, something changes.
No, I feel like the fact that he hovered it is like, I want even if he doesn't stick anymore. Has to be. Also, he's gonna stick it because if you're XSET, and I know this, you need the nuke here. You need a cheese. You tried the rush cheese, that didn't work. Now you're gonna do the sneak cheese. You're gonna go 4 people once at the map, nuke opposite. You have spare grenades. You can just try and get the opening, walk through those default cameras, and apply that phantom pressure on towards XSET, or sorry, on towards Parabellum rather, on the defensive side, and try and find value elsewhere.
Well, you were absolutely correct. The nuke is locked in, 20 seconds into the round. Where, oh where, will this Danish operator go to fly under the radar? I like that XSET is changing things up. They desperately need to after the start of this matchup, and there the entry for Spirits is. In through supply, and now into customs. And we'll wait it out. Wait, what logo was that she just pulled up on her cam? Did I miss something?
Oh, is it the Wolf Guard? Was it blue?
No, it looked like a spider.
Oh, I don't know then.
That was very peculiar. I actually haven't seen that before. Maybe I'm just not up with it, but either way.
Interesting.
Asian gets shot through the door, slash through the wall, slash through the barricade, wherever he was. But he's looking the wrong way now. The first round that we haven't had an immediate trade gives XSET a huge advantage. Asian has been phenomenal so far in this matchup and has been particularly crucial playing upstairs inside of security.
Yep, it's important here to take down, and of course now XSET, the clock is ticking a little bit for them, but Taking out the top gunner is going to help them at that once they close in towards the bottom side. Nuke downstairs, clearing both pieces of map on the main stairs of metal. Can now walk up safely as that sound cue is gone from the round from the defenders of Parabellum. Breach controls the mirror on Armory's side. That's going to help you get closer towards the bomb site itself. You have smoke grenades on Diaz on Twitch too, so plenty of different pieces of utility. While Diaz finds the second kill of the round onto Blaz.
Now Blaz is down for the count. XSET continuing to add to their body counts. Spirits in a pivotal spot. He sees the head of the smoke, but for a second has to peel off. Eska stays alive for now. It's Doc to try and capitalize on Kino, and he manages to get it as he hits the ground. Recoil was a little bit pesky there. A Twitch drone narrows in just behind that Kiba barrier, but Doc is able to get away. Still positioned at the top of the stairs, just by metal detectors, but constantly harassed by this drone and baited into a kill by Yaga. Excellently done. A second kill from Yaga. Leaves Kool-Aid to try and fend for himself. Not a ton of bullets left. 13, but he finds at least one kill. Here's the F2, a nice pick onto Yaga. Has to retreat and reload. XSET will push in. Kool-Aid thinks that they're coming from a direction that they are not. Narrowly misses out on a head through the small opening in that steel reinforcement. Needs to pick his targets well. He hears one, but they double up on him, and you just can't beat the fire rate of the F2. XSET finally gets their first round.
That they do, and it all came off that opening kill, and then they just kept up that momentum and played it nice together. They were not exposed themselves to those 1v1s, especially in security. When Doc got that initial kill, is 3 men sprinting towards you. You can actually react and also like preemptively react rather than seeing the person. So sound is very important for multiple factors. Reaction time and speed is also one of them. We're back in the server ventilation, again going through that same rotation as before. Spirits going from Nuke to the Monty of all operators, which could once again kind of present ourselves for a bit of a roam clear situation. I don't think they're going to go for direct attack with that. Kino going from Hibana to Hibana, that's a great attacker repick. And Diaz from Twitch to the Lions. We're going to try and control the movement here of Parabellum. That's both the Monty and the Lion doing that same job. It's going to be Gomez and Yogg trying to find the kills together with Diaz, while Kino will do some drone work most likely. So you cannot afford to lose Hibana with these hatches above being reinforced, as well as most walls to the exterior of the map.
Well, Monty coming in is going to be fascinating to watch. I like the lineup that's being brought from XSET. Monty has been tried and true in a number of times over the last 2 days of play. We saw him yesterday in the Soniqs matchup as well that you and I casted. So.
Yeah, saw him twice, both in the same attack.
I mean, the thing with a Monty is that if you can wrestle control of that top floor, which right now looks like there's actually nobody defending it right now from from Parabellum. If you can wrestle that away from PB, well, I might have spoken too soon. Kool-Aid walks out directly into a Monty and no, get out of there, run. Danger. You don't want to be there. You got to get out. Spirit's now on the hunt. First pick did go to Parabellum though. Gomez down, the Yana no longer available.
One of the downsides of playing Monty is that you're basically, it's kind of like playing Clash and Defense. You're kind of playing 4 versus 5 when it comes to the gunplay at least. So losing Gomez, not only do you lose half your grenade utility, but you lose 1 more gun. So now you're playing 3 versus 5 gun-wise with a walking drone of Monty that is Spirit. So the firepower from XSET with that opening kill not going in their favor is dwindling at the moment. And PB establishing crossfire instead of Office. It's Blast, and it's going to be Kool-Aid playing together here in this position.
There's the first Lion charge that goes off in this execute. Spirits take some damage. That's a disappearing act as Blaz gets away, but Kool-Aid is still here. Nobody knows. Turn your back. And there he is. An easy down and kill for Kool-Aid to secure. A second pick. He scoots over towards the window inside of Office, and he's just going to wait ever so patiently.
I like that play. They're going to think he dropped the hatch.
No. Kino runs in. Kool-Aid hears this. Diffuser's been juggled. Kool-Aid surely sees the case laying on the ground. Who's the one that's going to go retrieve it? Because they'll be walking right into the waiting arms again. Where are the drones? There's still 7 drones in play for XSET, but they're not using any of them at all. Case has not been retrieved. Sledge of Yaga from above will find himself in a collision course. Kool-Aid gets the pick and then again retreats. Down goes Blaz to Kino. Keeping it close. Every kill so far from Parabellum in the hands of Kool-Aid. And he's still sitting on top of that diffuser. He could have another one as well. Kino through the wall, there he is. No more Kool-Aid. XSET have turned this one around. Doc in a 1v2, making a 1v1. Miraculous shot into Diaz. Kino will need to clutch out for his team. Diffuser in hands, immobile for a short period of time. Doc will look for the smoke. Kino has no choice but to peel off and reposition, but he might take the engagement instead. He doesn't have a lot of time, and there it is. Kino makes the right call and gives XSET their second round in a row.
That's a heartbreaking round because PP played that so well throughout the entirety of that round. Somehow the bombsite members of Parabellum, they fell apart when they knew they had Diffuser upstairs. I mean, talk a corner, hide away, try and play the trade. Either way, they did not find what they need. I mean, Kool-Aid getting the Monty here for free, talking the corner, then killing the sledge. Diffuser on the floor. It's a 5 versus 2 in this position. But then the members of PP play too aggressive on the side, they fall. And all of a sudden, well, it goes from bad to even worse. And PP are going to go back towards that same bomb site because they did find success. They technically did win the round, but then they threw it, they lost it out of nowhere at the same time. XSET hovering that same lineup. Diaz on Twitch, but not line. The rest stays the same for now. Spirits once again bringing out that Monty, which did technically work last round, but I think you're right, Parker. They had 7 drones left when the Monty died. No one used their drones. They were just purely on the Monty to clear every single corner, and because of that, well, when he checked the one corner, he died from the other. So while you do have the Monty to do that drone work for you, you can still have one more member droning with him to clear out those crossfire positions. Slight change here at the last second mark. Spirits goes from Monty to Blitz. It's the same similar story, a bit more aggressive and less safe, if you will, but also a much faster operator for this roam clear.
Well, final defense now for Parabellum. They've managed 3 rounds. At worst, they're going to tie it up, but
again,
Kool-Aid starts off the killing second round in a row. First 3 rounds, very evenly matched. Both teams drawing on first picks. XSET gets first blood in round 4, Parabellum in 5 and 6. Despite that, it was a nice Kino clutch in round number 5 that, despite the advantage that was built up by Parabellum, or more specifically by Kool-Aid, was all for naught.
Try again. There it is.
You didn't even see him hit it.
Well, I saw the indicator hammer go down, so he must have hit it the second time.
Maybe he missed it again.
There's a chance.
Maybe he swung. It's swing and a miss.
There's a chance he missed it again. I'm going to assume he did not.
Yeah, who knows?
Dog.
Who knows here? Look at this. Already right in. Spirits charging through on the blitz. And he'll have his shield back up in seconds. Taking damage, lots of chip damage right now.
Oh my
but
God.
Soldiering on towards Fountain, and he has yet another to his name on Blaz. There's nothing to answer this blitz as he continues to tear through the map at breakneck speed. Is Asian the next one to follow? There's a hatch open up. 2 different members of Parabellum there to greet the blitz when he drops. Spirits has been reduced to about nothing. So a single bullet from most of these guns will fell him. Question is, do you make it that far? Because there will be a shield sprinting directly at your face.
I love watching Spirits in the Blitz. I wish we saw it more frequently, but it's one of those operators that he has been bringing out since the CL days and whatnot. He does it so well time and time again, even at tier 1 level of play. 2 kills, 2 openings, and yeah, Kino got spawn peak basically, so this would have been a 5 versus 3 if not for that. And while Spirits is low on HP, he did the job that he needed to do. He can still plant, he can still use his smoke grenades, etc. He can still stay alive, but the entire reason for picking the Blitz was a success. They've done that step. Gomez just planting right now, and no one can quite stop him because Doc has no idea this is happening.
Well, it's bad information right now for Parabellum. It certainly seems like ring around the rosy, but Spirits only gets 2 before being dragged back down. XSET a pick of their own onto Asian in the post plant. The scramble is happening, and Doc has case control right now, but he needs to retake with Eska because the 2 remaining players of XSET have to be found. Where are Yaga and Diaz? Well, they know where at least one of them is. Will he be able to capitalize? No, Yaga gets a single kill. Eska puts himself into a 1v1 against Diaz, but Diaz is perfectly positioned. Eska can long arm this. Diaz actually has to get up to him, and he's sticking it. He has to go quickly. He's hit the Kubine, but will he get it in time? Yes, he will. Diaz again. XSET just pull these rounds out of where the sun don't shine, and the first maybe fix 1 to 2 rounds of whatever side you're on, defense attack. But then you've got an entire other round, and depending on where the score line is at, that could be a lot of rounds that you are missing out on being able to strategize. A very simple question. Who will end up with more kills, Blaz or Gomez? Right now, Blaz has 4. Gomez has 2. What did you say?
Oh,
very close.
Very close.
For good reason.
Yeah. I mean, Gomez and Blast both had a great game yesterday, and both players are obviously in the fracking role, so to speak. They both find the kills in the servers, so very close for a good reason indeed there. Also, Blast, less proven of a player, of course, still new to the NA scene, but has played in Europe for many, many years. It's still really weird for me to see him on my screen right now casting the NAL because Blast is a Frenchman, and he did play for French teams back in Europe.
And I don't say this to diminish the abilities of Blaz, but there was a bit of confusion when he was brought over, saying there are better European players, frankly, that can be brought to this team. Why are you bringing over Blaz, who never really had the same level of success as other EU free agents? What is it about? What is it about him in particular that really stands out? Well, they knew something that we didn't. Blaz has been a very important addition to Parabellum thus far.
I mean, you can almost make the argument that Blast is the same as the likes of Asian or Doc, for example, where it's like a young, up-and-coming player that has that mechanical talent, because in Europe we knew he had that talent, but he wasn't quite given as many chances as he maybe deserved, but happy he found a home here in Parabellum instead to prove himself. Now, first defending round for XSET, looking to do the same thing as PP and play aggressive with these keeper barriers, denying lines of sight, providing much more cover and changing the angles around. And PP, they started Armory side, they've rotated to Office now, they're making their interway. It's a 1v1 situation here from Fountain and Office gun members, and Gomez almost loses his life.
Well, if Gomez wants to win that Twitter poll outright, he's going to have to survive a lot longer with very limited HP. XSET expending considerable resources to stop Parabellum's advance towards Fountain.
That sucks. You breach the wall, Q-Barrett patches it right up again moments after.
That's why you carry sets of explosives. And take a look at the lineup for Parabellum. No shortage of explosions. Nice shot by Blaz. Kool-Aid in two. Suddenly, Parabellum have found a renewed set of confidence and swagger that was absent for the final 3 rounds. Now it's Spirits to go down to Eska. Everybody from Parabellum getting in on this puts XSET in a very bad position. Yaga gone now as well. Diaz, the last one standing. Not a single member of Parabellum has died yet. Kool-Aid on the ground, but he's going to survive and persist. The first flawless round of the matchup goes to Parabellum.
Yep, it's a great start for them. That tactical timeout, I need to remind you, was taken from PP before the round started, so they could go through all the specifics of what they wanted to do, and it worked to great effect. I mean, the entry from Blaz opened up the round, but then Kool-Aid right there with that shot above the shoulder of Blaz takes out the deep armory player as well, and that really opens up the round for the Parabellum attacking side. Then XSET was scrambling, trying to gain those kills back, but they were found by Eska, playing in 90 inside of break room. Angles are covered, and they were crossed. Ventilation, bomb site downstairs instead. We're going to go through the motions here as XSET does not want to return to the previous bomb site of Armory.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Well, this has been quite an impressive matchup between these two teams, and I will say, as yesterday I praised Mirage, even though they didn't end up winning, and in fact it wasn't a particularly close matchup. I thought that the roster that they had showed some things to me that prove that their potential and their ceiling is higher than previous iterations.
Yeah.
I know that might not be an easy thing to hear for former players, but that's at least what we saw yesterday. There's still 8 more games where Mirage could potentially regress, for all we know. But the one thing about Parabellum was that not only did they stick it with OXG, but they ended up winning the match. And now here they are going toe-to-toe against XSET. XSET are the best placing team over the last 3 months in North America, finishing in the top 4, eventually losing to Rogue in the semifinals of the Berlin Major, when Rogue would obviously go on to win the entire thing. Not too bad to lose to the eventual champs in semis. And XSET have also consistently been a top 4 team in North America that are never out of a matchup. Parabellum are already showing what they can do, and with an entry like that from Blaz, Spirits decides to engage. You've lost the Azami with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. Those are what, 2 Kiba barriers that will no longer be available. That would have been there if Azami had hung on just a little bit longer.
Yep, that's accurate. Lose a bit of value there, of course, and of course you're down a member as well. Blaz is low on HP, so might want to take a back seat now if they're made off the round and drone out some more and use those grenades and possible hammer later on because he's the vertical player from the team. Kool-Aid finds Yogg as well, so Kool-Aid having a fantastic game so far. 10 kills to his name, 25 devs.
No, Gomez answers back. XSET still trails. But now it's Gomez's turn to take some damage. Ooh. Drops away. He can very easily get back up top if he wants. Nice play from Diaz. The one thing I will say is that this border match has absolutely been hell in a cell. These are engagements happening all over the map, off-site, very quick, very precise. It's frankly, it's beautiful to see because there is so much mechanical skill on display in this matchup so far.
All 3 members of XSET are off the bomb site at a customs area. The bomb site's installation workshop. If PB can drone this out, they know the bomb site is free. They can just go for a plant. Once that goes down, happy days. Gomez, open up this hatch, might go for a flank later on with the right timing. But XSET, they don't have any real way to stop the plant from going down. With these player positions right now, they're playing much, much more passive than what you'd expect.
Well, there's a proximity alarm that goes off. Kino holding on to those smokes, still 2 in his pocket. A little bit of that toxic gas. It's just breathed in by Kool-Aid, who has the diffuser in hand and seems to be relatively safe. But they know exactly where he is. They've got a mark on him. Down goes Kool-Aid to Kino. He decides to take the engagement instead of using his utility. Diffuser will need to be picked back up. Doc, a kill for Parabellum. Now Asian at the front door gets shot at by Kino, and it leaves Doc in a 1v2. Both players from XSET still at full HP, as is Doc. A lot on the line right now. Parabellum hoping to stretch their lead. XSET has not led once yet. They're looking to just tie it up. Toxic Babe goes out, and Kino with the final 3 kills. Good Lord, he's good in the final moments of a round. We're in a tie game yet again.
Shotgun there from Kino is just madness again. He swings the main door to outside the building with the shotgun, not the SMG-11, but Kino's shotgun does more damage than any other member I think I've seen in the NAL. And even Kino looks surprised there on the player cam. Good round for him and XSET. They played it really passive off the bomb site, but it worked out in the end. The Toxic Babe that was tossed from Kino, the first one towards the bomb site, did so much damage on the Kool-Aid, he just needed a single bullet to be taken out later on in that round. 4-4 as we're tied back up. Bathroom is next. Again, XSET on the defense are losing the early engagements, playing either 4 versus 5 or 3 versus 5, but then later on, in the later half of the rounds, that's where they find most of their success. It was Gomez and Diaz that got a kill each, I believe, and that just really sealed the deal for them and got them back into that round. Let's see what they can do now. PB did not bring the nuke the first round. I was wrong, they have not brought it yet so far. They're playing the team game right now, not playing isolated, but playing together instead. No attack or repicks coming out. Their lineup stays the same for this round. Asian on Twitch, of course, to get that firepower and the smoke grenades. Kool-Aid bringing the ace as the hop reacher.
Very similar lineups being brought from these teams on attack. Twitch very firmly back in the meta,
yes,
or so it seems in North America. Twitch also has access to that 417 to the 417 DMR that Lion has access to as well. We saw Lion running that yesterday in some of the NAL matchups. It's very common to see that in APAC, but has not really made it all the way over to our shores. I guess it has, given that we saw it yesterday, but teams still wanting to go with that much larger magazine and the Vector variant that Lion has access to. Does Spirits know how close he came to just getting shot at by Blaz?
So, I think he has any real idea here. Drone comes in, that should alert him, of course. Now he'll be aware and ready for it.
There's Blaz to go down. Spirits will now engage himself. Spotted, shrugging off a lot of damage in the process. It's been a sluggish performance so far for Spirits. He's got time to get himself back up to find form. Kool-Aid, dare I say the hunkiest man in all of North American League. He's having a really good match. Broken double digits. He's going to have more work to be done as he loses Eska. Asian and on it, 3v3, 1 minute burned off of the clock. Proximity alarm gives Asian away in his position. Still there. Kool-Aid tempting whoever might be inside of security, but they need to drone them out. Spirits is there. This is a standoff. 2 separate players, neither on drone, by the way. Only 4 drones remaining still in play, 1 in the pocket of Kool-Aid. Asian would be the one to take advantage of that, as he has the intel gathering devices.
Tough position to be in, to be honest, because again, the information is so low, but Spirits has less HP and Kool-Aid got a better gun, so he wins the gunfight outright. 1:15 the clock, and now PB with that kill are in a much more comfortable position. Now XSET once again have to lash out and isolate a member and try and bring back that man score.
There's that vertical destruction that we've talked about so many times. 1 minute left. XSET still have not led in this matchup. They're looking to change that, as they would be only a couple rounds away from victory. Ditto for Parabellum, but they know the lead. They know what it takes. They've had it for most of this matchup and have Only been tied for 2 rounds now at this point. They might run out of time now with 40 seconds to go. Parabellum will reposition back towards this bathroom bomb site. They drop right in the midst of it. Dog's the one that has the cover at the moment. Diffuser can go down. Kino is very helpless inside a workshop. Oh, but a nitro cell goes out. There goes the coverage.
Oh.
And now it's Diaz's turn to light him up and grab the diffuser moments after it gets planted. XSET take the lead.
Again, in the later stages of the round, it's XSET who comes out on top time and time again. Kino did it. Diaz just did it. That C4 was absolutely wild. Above the fridge, out the window it goes, takes down the cover, and it's easy after that. He just flanks it around because the crossfire was established from the 2 members that were remaining from XSET. Yes.
It does seem to be resolved. The game is back up. Unfortunately, Diaz has lost all of his kills. Where are my kills at? I don't know. Well,
It's not over.
yeah.
Go again.
Sorry, Diaz. This is what happens.
Should have stayed in the server. You know?
Exactly. You clutched too hard. It tore a hole in the space-time continuum, and there you are. Either way. XSET with their very first lead.
See now, going through the motions back to Armory, we are upstairs. Last time XSET defended this was a flawless victory for Parabellum on the attack, where they went to the office side of the map, the east side, if you will. 3 Alibi Prismas on the half wall in Armory. Bubble shield in front of it, and Alibi, of course, they have to play aggressively off of those pieces of utility. You can throw Alibi Prismas outside the building on the roof, and you can actually get this annoying red text that says, you know, attacker or like defender spot outside or whatever. But instead, it's Yogg who's going to be running out, taking some damage off, or some health rather off Asian, who's half HP with the Lion. Still bringing that Vector weapon instead with the 51 bullets. Not the DMR this time around.
Security hold has been so integral for these teams, especially given the bomb site up in Armory. Crucial part of the map to hold on to because you can establish a long cross leading into the Armory component of the bomb site and also force any rotations to have to go through you from security. Nice play by Doc, but an equally beautiful shot from Spirits as both teams again trade out. This is what we've been seeing time and time again. They always keep it close. That's exactly what happened here. Gomez timed this well. It's a bit too slow. And it is a missed opportunity, but Parabellum knows that there's now 1 less nitro cell on the board, and if you look at the operator lineup, that's all the explosive capabilities other than a single impact grenade.
You're correct. On the attacking side, we got 1 grenade left from Blast as 1 just went out. So these keep it barriers are going to be problematic because you can't both kill those as well as the players with that little explosive utility. Yogg, still alive in security with the DMR, has long lines of sight to east stairs and of course in Soul's office where we just saw Blast peek that angle back. It's going to be him and Kool-Aid now trying to clear out this position of Spirits, but no, wallbang formation makes that life so much easier.
Seems to be a lot of this happening as now Kool-Aid takes down Gomez. Both teams have been victim to just simply not knowing where they're getting shot from, and it happens yet again. Is it just poor drone work, lack of intel? I don't know. Yogg is the last man for XSET. Certainly looks like a tie game yet again. Oh, beautiful shot from Yogg on to Kool-Aid. But the diffuser is down, and now the job for Yogg gets significantly harder, but the DMR hits like a truck. Just ask Blaz. Deep in the ground, 6 feet under. Asian is a single shot of that DMR away, but Eska's in a position where yet again, XSET don't seem to know where they're coming from. That entire round was, where am I getting shot from? And that was it. Parabellum comes out on top.
Had to do a 5-5 tied up. Not a whole lot of plants going down in this particular matchup because, again, it's all about the gunplay and the gun skill right now. When the plants do go down, it's not really the biggest factor that matters because normally the round is pretty lopsided one way or another. Ventilation, so keeping things the same. Armory, ventilation, bathroom, armory, back to ventilation for the XSET rotation so far. Last time, as we know, ventilation went in favor of XSET. They clutched it out with that Kino 3K on the shotgun, the smoke grenades. That the bulletproof cam on side, granting them all that information, and PB could not deal with it. Last time, Blast died earlier in the round, so Sledge was not available for the vertical play destruction, and that made PB's life so much harder. Attack repicks coming through. Twitch onto Flores. Osa onto Lions. A bit more soft destruction, a bit more crowd control for the roamers of XSET. It's all about the opening kills and getting that initial map control. XSET, they're going to try and stop PP from getting into the building, and PP are going to try and force their way in by having to get a kill or two. All eyes right now for Parabellum is going to be on the late round execution. It's where they've lost multiple of their attacking rounds. Both the ventilation and bathroom round fell in that area.
Oh, we're guaranteed all 12 rounds. We might actually have our second overtime matchup here in the North American League. Yesterday, 4 of the 5 matchups were done without needing those 3 extra rounds. Extra innings are looking progressively more likely. And given the seesaw of this matchup, Parabellum winning the first 3 rounds, XSET winning the next 3. Parabellum winning round 4, XSET winning 4 and 5, and then Parabellum winning their 5th in round number 10. It's just been back and forth. Very, very close. And again, these timeouts have made a huge difference. There are no timeouts remaining for either team. So this is it. You just have to fly through the rest of this matchup as best you can.
Yep. Wall open up, drone follows on in, PP again. A little bit late to the start of the round. Not really doing much until the first minute has been burned through on the clock. Drone-wise, they got 4 drones left, so very limited information can be gained from PP, and that might be a problematic situation because all 5 members of XSET being alive, they got so many positions on the map, they gotta worry about 2 drones left for PP now. They're gonna be flying in blind, taking gunfights against one of those lethal teams in North America. That's not gonna be easy.
Gomez first engagement goes against Doc, but Doc prevails on that one. Doc running riot upstairs in Fountain and awaits out the EE1D to see if a defender will materialize onto the main stairs. Nobody does, though. Spirit seems to be next closest, and he's sharing a space with the Lion of Eska. Down goes Blaz to Kino. Kino has been phenomenal for XSET so far. Spirit's now outdueled by Eska. Quieter game for Eska, not making flashy or sexy plays, but still contributing where need be. It's the support players that seem to be really standing out here.
It does. I will say, Doc on the entry has been absolutely monumental for PP, and then Kool-Aid usually in the mid-round gets so many kills off his teammates. They're playing quite well together. XSET again, playing off the bottom side. PP should know this from the last time around. They gotta get in there, get safe and comfortable, and try and get that diffuser planted. They got 30 seconds to go. XSET, they will know when this happens, and then they will hit their marks and go into the bottom side again.
Explosions aplenty, as what is typically a very quick game between these two is now worn down to the final 20 seconds. Kino in a crucial spot, watching that main door just to see what he can pull off. Diaz has to go back in. He can't secure. He's worried about a follow-up. Kool-Aid getting the diffuser down as Asian is retrievable. Kino tries to get him out, but he's baited into by Doc. It's a successful plant by Parabellum. Diaz with 1. He clutched before, does some damage to Kool-Aid. Can he repeat the miracle of the previous round? Trapped on top of the diffuser. He needs Diaz nearby as it's Yaga sitting in this position. Still firing away. Where is Diaz? That is the real question. Retaking from above? Does he have any information? Yaga wasting time. Eska has the pinch. Diaz can't do anything at all. It's Yaga in a desperate attempt to get shut down by Kool-Aid, and Parabellum moves to match point.
That they do. Again, another convincing round for Parabellum. Once the plant goes down, they're in a really good position with those post plants. I've always praised them for it. Whenever they would play Chalet against Soniqs in Stage 2, whenever the diffuser would go down, you see whether it's Kool-Aid or Eska or whoever would really be in that post position, they always played so disciplined. 1 floor above, far away, long lines of sight. Everyone's covering an important angle, and that's what we saw right there. There was no real chance for XSET to claw it back in that round because the discipline was met from PP. And this could be our final round, possibly. 6-5 in favor of Parabellum. It's bathroom tellers for XSET last time. They came out victorious because Diaz got that 3K clutch, C4 into double headshot kill. Another one of those close rounds. And again, the early entry really is the defining factors for these two teams. Doc ended up fighting Gomez in the previous round, and Doc came out superior. That opened up the entire round for PP. They got top block control, started the vertical damage, and then you could establish that plant as we saw. Had the gunfight between Gomez and Doc gone differently, that entire round could have been shaped out in a much different fashion. Could have been XSET with that match point, but instead, well, it's PP as we can see.
By the way, remember when I said, oh, what was that cam?
Okay.
That I believe it was Nook went on to?
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody on
Spider
Twitter.
thing?
Somebody on Twitter whose name is Meat Garage
Okay.
sent me a screen cap of it, and it does indeed look like something that maybe should not be released. I don't exactly know. But either way, it's there.
Okay.
It's out there.
Good
I
catch.
saw it. Thank you very much. I saw it when Nook went on to her cam, so I know they've been doing this for a couple of the operators.
Yeah.
You've got the you got Wolfguard obviously being added now. But either way, let's get into the matchup. 1 minute or so burned off the board. Spirits, not quite himself, is inside a break room. The drone goes by and Spirits gets
Doc.
obliterated again. You said it. Doc on entry has been so good. He almost gets a follow-up onto Gomez through the soft wall and fountain. Parabellum tearing through XSET on these entries.
But they are. Spirits, half of his kills came from that one blitz round, and Gomez now injured and down for the count as Blast finds him. Asian, of course, about to capitalize a third one for them as Doc finds an injury onto Yogg, and Blast also finds Kino. It's Diaz in a 1v5 Parker for all the marbles.
There's already been a flawless round. It started off this first half. Does it end, or it started off the second half. Does it end the second half? It does indeed. What a performance by Parabellum.
Yeah.
An anticlimactic end for fans of XSET. But it's a tight matchup between the two of them. Goodness gracious. Parabellum with this new roster. They're 2-0.
Looking good. Looking good indeed. I mean,